This is your absolutely crushing the market review for Thursday, March 9th, 2023. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well.
This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka the Trading Agent. This is your daily market review for March 9th, 2023. What a wonderful Thursday. If you are set up to short the market, as we've warned people, the evidence was painting a picture. It was just a matter of time before the market falls. Again, I hate to rehash and seem like revisionist or 2020 perfect vision. I tell this to people all the time. Trading is hard. Executing can be hard, but patience has got to be key. If you can see the evidence forming, you see things setting up, you know your levels, you have your defined risk, you're willing to be wrong in your mind and stop out and get back in if you have to. Today was the day. As we talked about, we'll talk about the left-right combo that showed up on the SPY on Monday. We talk about all the divergences of the market evidence. If you watched yesterday's recap, I literally said everything looks bearish. There wasn't anything that I thought looked bullish other than the VIX. And look how everything turned out today. So again, I appreciate all the love, support, generous donations. Again, whether it's $5, $5,000, I understand that your tuition bill depends on what you learn. If you feel like you're learning something from here, I appreciate it. I love helping people out. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Let's get into it. If you're newer to the channel, check out the Discord room. Link is in the description below. A lot of good chats today. Again, people seem pretty content, pretty mellowed out. A little frustrating this morning, some of the action in, say, like NVIDIA, the semiconductors, but the evidence of the painting of the picture down proved to be correct. Those names definitely dropped 10, 15 points off the highs. Again, when we look at the charts, not going to really look that bullish. However, we will identify levels potentially tomorrow because of jobs day to be careful, be thoughtful about. If you're following on Twitter, man, I've dropped every chart I could today, this morning, on all of the sectors I'm watching. If you go through all of this, zing, there's a ton of them. Ton of them. Again, if you're not a part of the Discord room and you want to follow what I'm up to, always posting on Twitter. Try to drop stuff on stock twits. If you're newer to trading, I get a lot of questions about this. Please, before you even ask me, if you're watching these videos, go to the Back to the Basics series, search through here. I'm telling you, there's a video for everything. And if you're brand new to trading, again, have a practice account and just be humble. Just be humble because you're not going to figure it out. The journey of 1,000 miles isn't going to be figured out in 2 steps. You're going to have to walk your way to get where you're going to get. Because again, if you everything in life like this, say you want to lose 50 pounds, you want to gain 20 pounds of muscle, it's the routine, it's what you know, the education, it's the diet, it's everything. Trading in itself, the mental capital that's understood, wasted, conserved. Here you go. All of the things that I use for myself personally and learned in trading that help other people out. Bitcoin. Again, if you watched the live review today, during the day, did a live one, so please hit the notification bell. If you're subscribed, you could have watched the live chat. Said, watch the 21.4 level. Well, that broke. Oops. People are like, what's next? I don't know. The trend is now down. You have a clear left shoulder, head, right shoulder down. Probably somewhere in the 17s. As I've said a million times, whether it's gold, crypto, any of the stuff that feels like long-term investments, when the baby gets thrown out with the bathwater, nothing's safe, right? Nothing's going to be safe here. They're going to dump everything potentially, right? Margin calls, people get liquidated. Even your favorite, strongest names are not going to be safe. Oil, the crude. All right, here we go, chopping around. I've said this 1,000 times. I have no desire to play in this market until we either hit an extreme low or something changes. At this point, looks like a choppy, sloppy mess. Natural gas, same thing, moving right along. Said, hey, congrats if you caught the bottom here at the low of the zone, which it hit. And luckily, I mean, again, I didn't trade it, so I'm not going to give myself credit, but I saw this. Now it bounced up and chopping around. My thesis is what? Chop City. Said this for a while. I think you're going to get the repeat of Chop City. Here's March of 2020, right? Here's March of what? 2021, right? April. Chop, 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 chop. It's just chop, chop. Let's get into it. Dollar. Said watch the 200-day. All right. Well, keep in mind, take note of this. I have said this multiple times. At the lows, we could get to the 200-day. The next question becomes, if the economy deteriorates, the dollar could dump. Right? We talked about that. But we also thought the dollar would rise. Why? Because if they're raising interest rates. Next move in the dollar, I don't know. We're at an inflection point. But I will say, watch the volatility. If the market dumps and the dollar dumps, well, that means people expect the U.S. economy to dump. If the market dumps and the dollar goes stronger, then people are anticipating higher rates. That's all you really can think about it. Now, if you want to trade the dollar, go right ahead. I just think there's easier trades, as I've said over and over. Shorting certain market names, financials, tech. Did I say tech? Yes, tech, right? Financials, oh yeah, that's right. Certain names within the sectors that we're going to talk about, yes. I think trading the dollar is probably just more of an indicator versus something I would actually take on. I won't take on. Same thing with TLT. Trust Dan's charts. Great Twitter guy. Does a lot of it. He's all in short bonds. We've talked about it. Again, I would have no desire to short or long bonds. I could see it both ways. I've seen bonds bought when the market tanks and the dollar tanks, and I've also seen the market drop and the TLT drop. I'm looking for volatility in the bond and the dollar market. That's all I'm looking for. That'll confirm the market's freaking out and doesn't know what to do, right? Because if bonds dump or bonds jump big, that's money coming out of the market. Just remember, that's all you really need to know. Remember, we talk about the volatility in the bond market at this point. If you're not trading it, that's all you need to watch out for. Oh, the VIX. We said it was a gift down here. Said it was a gift down here. Said it was a gift down. Yeah, here it goes again. Rallies over the 100-day. Closes over it for once. Man, if you are bullish, you better be careful. You better be careful. That's all I can say. Because this could turn into a rocket. We've said the longer this thing compresses, the bigger the move that follows. Well, it is OPEX next week, if I'm correct. Could it chop around? Maybe. Could it be one of these things where it just goes up and then chops and then goes later? I personally think the volatility is going to expand because, again, look at the evidence. As we get deeper into this, you're going to go, holy crap, how did I miss that 4 days ago? Or how did I miss the top? Well, here you go. We talk about novice gap traps during the first and last 3 business days of the month. There it is. There's the repeat. This action right here. Look what it did. Got right to the 20-day. What do we say? Curling down 20-day. Be careful. Because once it starts curling down and it bounces back to it, it now acts as resistance. Well, look at the wick, Dan. Okay, yeah, I see the wick. And what did it form? Your favorite Stephen Bigelow. Left-right combo. It's a powerful trading signal. When you have a big green followed by a doji and then an engulfing bar, it means the direction has changed. Well, yeah, the direction changed. Well, everything yesterday, they're like, it's a doji at the 50-day. I bet the market's going to hold and bounce. Again, if you watch the evidence as we go through, you see it only got worse. Now what? I think the 387 level is your next support. It's the lows from here, the low here, it's the gap here, right? Then I would pull over. Sorry, it's not there already, but it is what it is. I would say this 0.382, 380 level. This was the chop zone, right? What's next after that? See, it's also the lows back here. It's going to be somewhere probably around 3... Let me just stretch it back to what it really is. Somewhere around, because I think I should pull it to that low right there. Somewhere 375. Now someone says, what am I supposed to do with all this? Just know that we're not going to always go down in a straight line, right? You're going to get these multi-day pops. That's what they do. They get everybody to sell the low, then they chase back the highs, and they pull the rug again. Remember, this is still a bear market. Anyone who doesn't understand that, please hang up the phone, redial. You've been missing out. Where have you been? A trader's market is a bear market, and a bear market ends with a capitulation. You are not going to see your hair cutter, your Uber driver, your friends who play sports with, your neighbors going, I bought NVIDIA. I bought Tesla. No, people at the end of a bear market are embarrassed that they lost their ass, and they're not going to want to talk about stocks. Davey Day Trader, gone. All of these folks, we're not there yet, and the VIX has to at least get into the upper 40s. We haven't got close. The upper 30s was the max in the VIX. Again, I hate to rehash this every video, but I swear to God, people don't listen. They don't take notes, and then they ask the same questions, so I feel like I have to answer the same questions over and over. What did we say this morning? Watch the 401 level. It's on the Twitters. Congrats if you took it. QQQ. We'll talk about some of the shorts we got in. QQQ. Another long wick. I said, watch what happens if the 20-day. I was like, man, that's a hell of a wick. And I admit, and people know, and little frustrating. I'm like, this doesn't really make sense, and we'll see what happens. Because the financials were getting toasted, and they got jellied up. All right, well, here you go. Now people are going to say, the market's holding up. The Qs are hanging out. Okay. Maybe they're just about to catch up. Right? Makes sense? Next support. You're not... You need 270s. I mean, it's just vacuum. Once it breaks this 2.8, I mean, it should just, shouldn't even think twice. Oh, what? Dan, why were you bearish? Well, look at the IWM. We said look at the 50-day. Then look at today. I'm like watching. I'm like, ooh, bogey. Look at that. Pow. I mean, it's literally making lower lows and lower highs, taking out the lows. I know the QQ is holding up better, but look at this. The SPY just broke it. But the IWM was confirming this earlier. Watch for lagging. While the Qs and the SPY were like playing tap dance along the 20-day, this thing was going sayonara south for the winter. Dia, same thing. What do we say? Once it takes out the lows here, goodbye. This thing is taking out literally the December lows. Do you guys see the problem here? If you're a bull, maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes you just can't convince people with evidence. You know, it is what it is. It's not subject to opinion. It's hopefully clear as day. Gold. Not surprised it bounced. People are looking for, a place to hide. But what do we say? I said this yesterday. Wouldn't be surprised. A little doji here. We bounce here. Wouldn't be surprising at all. All right, you bounce. 8-day, 20-day, all the 10-day, all them crossing here. Yeah, again, maybe it rallies, but I wouldn't short gold. Right? Well, then you look at silver and you're like, well, what about silver? Well, this looks, man, that could be a novice gap, doji. And again, this is why I'm saying, like, I have dust. I am not adding dust. Why would I add dust when the charts align like this? And again, I love everybody in the Discord room, but some of y'all sometimes are just, again, you got a winning trade. No one's going to doubt that. Maybe the market dumps more and it takes the metals down, but do I want stuff that's down here or do I want stuff up here to short? Right? It seems clear now that I say it like that, but sometimes it isn't very clear. GDX. Again, we talked about it bouncing here, holding the lows. Probably goes lower. No, always goes lower if the market dumps, but is that the best trade? I don't know. Be thoughtful, right? All I can say at this point is watch the lows. If it breaks, it's going lower. Just that simple. Just I don't know, just better money to be made elsewhere. Again, I've got my core in dust. I don't feel like it's worth adding. We'll see it here. GDXJ holding here again, like these just baby little candles. How many times have you got caught between swing points or adding at the lows or adding at the highs? This is just me. Maybe it ends up getting absolutely crushed. But this doesn't feel like chasing adding down here. Then I don't know what is. Maybe I haven't taught people well enough. Maybe I'm just an idiot because it's about to dump. AG. Yeah, leave it alone. Nice little, you got your 0.0054 cents ex-dividend day. Yeah, it looks ugly. Remember, there's a monthly trend line at the 5 area, AEM. Again, these names holding up ever so slightly. I mean, again, they probably will break, but I just feel like there's so much better trades out there. We'll talk about them. We'll get there. Watch the 44s. Right? Newmont, we talked about this leading down. This thing's been acting like trash. Lower lows. Helps out the GDX get punished. PAAS. Leave it alone. Hits the 20-day. Kapow. All right, let's get into what I really... Tech. Everyone's so scared to short tech. Look at today's action. Today's candle is a what? A lower high, a long wick, a long hammer, increasing volume. If you don't know the semiconductor cycle, and again, look at this area. The biggest VAP zone is right here in the 85s. Rejected. Dikembe Mutombo is waving his finger. No. That is not bullish. So if you're shorting semis, I love it. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't come right back to 77 minimum. And if it is a lower high and you're expecting a lower low, then you at worst would fill this damn gap. Maybe even test down to here in the 72s. Love it. NVIDIA. The folks in the Discord room, you guys know I don't get frustrated very often. I don't. But I was definitely getting frustrated by NVIDIA today. I'm like, what is it doing up today? I'm like, the headline that just came out wasn't bullish about the China stuff and all the chip stuff. I'm like, we'll see. Had some options, took out my Marches and was like, you know what? I'm going to buy April's. Anything that I had left over of Marches went to April. I'm like, I'll just be patient. The market, again, as the evidence was showing everywhere else, it's like, well, this thing's not going to hold up. It's just a matter of when. But damn, it did not annoy the crap out of me going up to 244 and change, making a slightly higher high, hitting this little trend bound, whatever is made up one, just drew it today. I'm like, looks interesting. Boop. Then it failed. Now you have railroad tracks, tweezer top. If you don't know what a tweezer top is, Stephen Bigelow here. tweezer top and bottom are when you have two exact candles of the exact same size but different color, and the second color one is the next impending direction. Well, there it is. Here it goes. We'll see what happens. Love it. Love it. Shorted Taiwan Semi today. People are like, oh, you're shorting this? I'm like, you know what? This thing's just a dog. I need some dogs in my life. These cats are holding up high and tight, and I need some dogs. This is a dog. 20-day. Bow. This thing's toast. Toast, get out the jelly. Oh, Intel is up today. Woohoo! Leading the market up when the trash floats last. Do we not say that? Again, okay, maybe. I don't know why I didn't want to buy Intel, but semis, SMH. Oh gosh, Oracle and now Ulta flushing after hours. Yikes. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. All right, here we go. Long wick gets back into the sell zone. Burnt. Uh-oh. Tweezer top. Railroad tracks, whatever you want to call it. Again, volume not huge, but if the market goes south, will it go south? Now, here's the thing about the psychology. You got to think about this with SMH, right? Everyone's bullish. AI. Allen Iverson in the house, right? Practice? Don't need no stinking practice. This is about to get smashed. Now you've got people who are thinking it's going higher, and you're making lower highs. Uh-oh. Does the lower follow? Keep that in mind. Adobe. Talked about this one getting up to the 50-day rate. Yeah. Now it retests at blank. Doesn't look good. Good old Apple added to this one today as well. I was like, wow, if you're really going to give me the 154 and change area, why not? Just take it. Yep, that's good. Remember we talked about the Goldman Sachs Buddy Pass Novice Gap. What a joke. Again, people who take their recommendations. How much? I wonder if they like. Is there the anti? Because again, Goldman at highs, upgrading, at lows, downgrading. Be scared. Do the opposite every time. You heard that here first. Amazon. Hey, look at that. Everyone wants to buy it, and it still sucks. Still sucks. Snoozer again. Need some dogs in your life, right? That's a dog. But again, I like other dogs. CRM, congrats. I mean, I don't know who. Again, leave a comment below if you shorted CRM on that gap up today, because this is what you would hope for solar would do, right? Novice gap. This is what you hope Nvidia would do. This one did it, like the novice gap trap, and now we're coming back down. I think they're laying off more people. Whatever. I mean, again, the bear market's not over. I don't know how I have to say this. Just because it's up a couple days, couple weeks, and or traders market, which we actually went long in January. Remember the January effect conversations? Go look at the Stock Traders Almanac. We talked about it, probably rallying into January. Guess what? It peaked on February 2nd. Ooh. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Back to dogs. Oh, yeah. It's not the bull market is not on. The bear market is not over. You don't. I'm just ranting. People are like, go eat an edible. Go drink some beers. No. I got to go through this logically and talk to you about the evidence. You got to see this stuff. Guggenheim. If my brother's listening to this, I hope he sees and understands that this thing is going lower. I know people like him and others think that Google's oversold. Google does not have the same growth prospects they once had, and now trading at whatever, even if it is 20, 30, 40 times earnings next year, it's not cheap. It's not cheap relative. Meta, another one, frustrating, but look what it did. Opened up, engulfed yesterday's action, 180. Man, it is living on a prayer. Get Bon Jovi. Because if this is like the M top and this is an ugly M, Kelly Kapowski, Saved by the Bell. It's going to be more like Saved by nothing because it's a game over. You know, Zach is going to be crying. Slater's going to be dancing, on their grave. I don't know where that rant's going, but there's the M top. Game over. See you down lower. Gotta get below the 20-day. Gotta get below the 170s. If it does, now keep in mind, it's living on the prayer of TikTok's gonna get banned. Well, TikTok is eating their lunch, and honestly, I've said this a million times. I don't advertise on Meta Instagram. It's a waste of money. I mean, I'll drop articles, but spending money there is just like an abyss. Like the average person spending time on Instagram and Meta during the day or checking out advertisements has an average income of like $30,000 and is in their mid-20s. Not who you want to advertise to. So advertisers, they know this. It's trash. Or it's old people. You can say I'm old. who just are like, oh, they ignore it all. They're like, I'm here to like look at friends and family stuff. I'm not clicking on anything. Why is this showing up in my feed? I get that article, get that message. Oh, when I used to advertise, oh, why is something you posted in my feed? Get that crap out of here. Get off my lawn. Microsoft. Here you go. 20-day. Watch the 200-day. Adios. Sayonara. NDAQ. Here was evidence. As yeah, I'm like a broken record. All right. When the NASDAQ composite. Sorry, I'm just laughing. When the NASDAQ exchange stock is acting like crap, it's telling you the future is not in the NASDAQ. Companies will not be listing here. The shares volume will die, and nobody's going to want to buy tech. I posted that who wins the tech war in, I think, November or December 2021. And I'm telling you, tech doesn't win the tech war. It's inflation. It's the commodities. Money rotates. Well, whatever. You guys get it. Newer folks, probably not. MicroStrategy. Well, things that aren't bullish. Look at this. I mean, that's where it's sometimes like hard to take profits, but when the dog's dogs, you let them run. The stuff that's holding up eventually will, hence you trade around it. But once it starts, like Netflix, I got cute here. Oh, I'll cover at 330. Man, still going lower. Do you see my point though here? This is the thing. When something's chopping at the highs, trade around it. Once it confirms, it's game on. Once it confirms, it's game on. Once it confirms, it's game on, right? So it's probably not best. Again, when you see the financials, I mean, you might trade around that, but in general, like tech feels like it's about to follow. Tech, Roblox, right? Chopping, we talked about this 41 area. Here's another one, Tesla. When a dog is running, let it go. Game over candle, it's been nothing. I mean, even though the market rallied, oh, sweet, 187. 13 points, and then it gives it back and more. It's now 13 points below, 15 points below. Dogs below the 20-day. Rough. Game over. Again, this is what's so hard. A chop at the top. When it goes, you got to trust it. You just got to trust it. It is what it is. We'll see how it moves forward. Letter X. Again, look at all these commodities names. They were doing really well, and I'm like, something's not right here. Double top. Uh-oh. Market problems. Nucor. Retest the highs. Uh-oh, talked about it. Yikes. Scenario. Caterpillar. Here's me being cute, waiting for the gap to touch. Didn't touch it. Bow. Missed that one. That's what happens when you get too cute and you're like, well, I got to be in at the perfect price and I'm going to get all in. Nope. But I did put money in tech. Hopefully that'll work out. VALE. Short. Not long. Chopping, topping, nothing. Got a whole bunch of nothing. Arrow. Said, watch copper. Posted this last week. Watch what happens up here. Look at this candle today. That's a long wick. Somebody's distributing. Someone's distributing at the high, at the top of the trend. That's not bullish. CCJ, we talked about it. Man, I'm broken record. Good to hear 1,000 times so you know this. You can literally do the recap yourself. Maybe I'll give someone an opportunity to do it someday. Here you go. This is 29. Why 29? Zoom out. Zoom in. All right, you got it. CF, as I said, love these names, but I can't buy them. Moving through. Mosaic. Got up in the upper 57 area. Not bullish. NTR hits the 200-day. Fail. See the patterns here? It's not just one stock. It's not just the spider. It's not the Q. It's the cumulative evidence. If you're not evidence-based, well, guess what? Then you can't read the market. It's crazy. People get tunnel vision. They're so dumb. And I'm not saying you listening. I'm talking about in general. People go, I'm just going to chart the SPY only or the SPX. That's why you get confused. Or it just doesn't happen when you think it's going to happen. Again, AA is hoping really get up 56, see what happens. No. Let's get to the financials because here's where the train wreck starts. If you shorted the 20-day, Yamaste. Now, that looks distributive. That's game over. That's unbridled selling of fear. Do I want to cover my shorts here? I mean, maybe I could trade around it. Maybe just like this candle, like that confirmed it. I mean, but what did it ultimately end up doing? Now, could the feds come out and provide liquidity, something out overnight? Absolutely. Something stupid. If you short it up here, and here's the story of how you do it, and you want to take some off, well then if you take some off, you promise yourself, you keep your core, and if it rises, then you short. You do not short as it continues to drop. You look for the counter moves because even in the downs, there's some pops. Please trust me. Like, do not get caught in between swing points. And at this point, if it breaks, it's probably going back down. I mean, lower, obviously, dirt. Somewhere in the low 33 area. Right? You see why? Hopefully this makes sense. But that's the thing. Like, if you take, and here I'll repeat, if you take some off and you keep your core, please do not add to shorts. Again, this is like GDX. Like, this violates all of my laws. If I trade and I take my profits in the core and I don't catch the bounce, I can't short here. Now, technically, if it breaks, yes, you could. But look at the lay of the land. Know everything. Like, when you look at this, do you go, do I want to short that more? Do I want to short XLF more? No. If the market's about to dump, I need to go look at the other names that are about to collapse. So again, I understand if you want to take profits and trade around it. But man, think about opportunity costs. I know if one stock is working well for you, but if the market's going to dump, everything's going to dump. Please keep that in mind. Oh, I'm sorry to repeat myself. JP Morgan, shout out to my boy Lee. Look at that. Retest the high. I don't know how many hundreds of percent he made on his options, but congrats. Hot damn. Look at that. Sliced through the 100-day like hot knife through butter. It's not margarine, it's butter. Next, probably somewhere in the 127s. At this point, again, that is the start of a move. That looks like a chop top distribution. Goes like the VPA, like Anna Couling's favorite chart is like that choppy top that just goes choppy, chop, chop, chop. Now again, could it bounce? Any point it can. Don't. The trend is your friend. Morgan Stanley, we talked about for months here. It's like a left shoulder, right shoulder, crappy head and ears. I don't know what you want to call that. 20-day, kapow. Fills the gap, close enough. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't go back into the mid-80s near term. Goldman Sachs has been slacking hard. I do like their Marcus product. I don't like their institutional products. I wouldn't trust them with my money. I do trust their money market accounts and their CDs and their savings accounts because FDI and she insured. Yeah, this doesn't look good. You break 339, 336, 200-day. Look out below. Echo. XBI. We talked about this. Why is the XBI not holding up that well? As the market's retesting range highs, why does the XBI look like shiitake mushrooms? Because the market's going lower. I mean, Dan, did you say be evidence-based? I say it every day, but nobody is, except for you listening or learning. Everyone's emotional. Look at this. Go look at stock twits. Look at all the people that troll constantly and talk junk and talk uncertainties and talk with uber confidence. I try to be I'm not omnipotent, but I try to be evidence-based, and I know I'm probability-based, so I don't believe in certainty, but I know certain formations, certain repeating patterns, certain tendencies. Again, it's all the same stuff in the back to basics. I literally have now it memorized, as you should, in time, and it's going to make this a lot easier. Good old solar. Talked about getting into the 80 level. Adios. ENPH. Everybody loves this at the bottom. I've never seen a bottom in a stock like this when everyone loves it. And guess what? Hits the 50-day, coming right back down. Here's the monthly trend line. Moving right along. Sedgerton. If you got anywhere in the 340 range, well, now you're happy. 20-day. Goodbye. First Solar. Yes, I get it. It's so frustrating. Chop top. I was showing people on the live chat today. Check this out. Added at the highs. Finally waited because I'm down some position square. Like my original position I got in, I think 190 got stopped out, and then I started adding back in the 203, 202 area. Yeah, 200 areas to 0.618 on the monthly. That was wrong. But had faith in the market, was patient. Said, I'm going to take shorts here. Added a little bit. Again, I'm down on it. I don't really like adding to a loser, but if I think the market's going down and I have time, key, time. Did I say time? Yes, key. I think I'll be okay. This is like you want to just go boom, but clearly not. I mean, again, people buying solar, you got to be out of your mind. HYG, I've been saying this every day. I'm bringing it in the video. I'm like, it's not acting well, right? Corporate debt, high-yielding debt, trash debt as they call it, not acting well. Why is it back at it's literally almost back at the December and October lows. Dangerous. Things that aren't bullish. Let's end it on oil. Oil getting real volatile. Up, down, left, right, select, start, AB, select, start. If you know that contra code, you know what I'm talking about, Nintendo. Here you go, chopping. You want to talk about frustration in the market? Imagine trading oil. You've been trading in like a 10% range for what seems like decades. So move on. UNG. You want to see Nat Gas do the same thing? Leave it alone, little doggy. Again, if you're liking the comedy, please leave a comment. Again, I love when people reference some of the stupid stuff I'm saying because they get it. They live that life or they've seen it before. UNG, UN, no way. UNC Greenboro, no way. NC State all day. XOP, talked about the 100-day, the 100-day, the 100-day, the 100-day. Oh, did I say the 100-day? Yes, I did. Look what happened. I like these names at discounts. What did I say on, I think I said it 3 days ago. Are you familiar with the formation when you bounce, you break a trend, you bounce back up, you dead cat bounce, then you slam? That's what potentially could be happening here with XOP. That's honestly what I think is going to happen. Occidental. Buffett's buying sold calls. He already sold calls on the pop. So God, that guy's a genius. I wish I guess that'd be manipulating the market. People would probably be pissed if I started saying buy the stock and then I was selling calls against it. That would be pretty mean. If I ever do that, the way I will word it correctly. I will say I like this stock the long term and I'm selling calls, and then people would understand. I wouldn't be misleading them, but that doesn't really look that good. Doji, 50-day, Kapow. ExxonMobil, I said, watch the stock. It made new all-time highs. And I said, watch the 100-day. Uh-oh. New all-time highs. Now you've got like a choppy, sloppy top. 100-day. Uh-oh. Break 108. You can see lower prices. PXD. Oh, man, if I do not wake up tomorrow and you find the article that I was murdered, it's because the guy who is literally just blaming me for the PXD destruction doesn't realize that somebody literally has the ability to stop the stock every time at 210. It's not me. I don't have millions of shares. I'm sorry if that disappoints you. No, I don't. Someone has put the kibosh on this. Oil and gas, maybe you're all in options. Please don't murder me. Thank you. I really want to help out all my friends here. But I'm telling you right now, this doesn't look good, my friend. Don't blame me. Don't blame the messenger. EQT. Guys couldn't manage their future oil exposure if they knew what the future was. Man, there you go. Chopping, slopping, topping. Flex LNG, will end it there in a little rant. Here you go. 20-day. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs. Please be smart. I apologize if this is a longer video than normal. There's a lot to talk about. The evidence is confirming. Losers are losing. Choppy ones are choppy. Just be careful. When they do confirm, you have to let them run. You'll make that mistake. I'll make the mistake. Think about Netflix. Like, it happens sometimes. But when this market looks like it's confirming, please let it go. If you have any questions, please reach out. Again, I appreciate all the generous donations. Got a lot of like small little $20, $15, $10. That's cool, man. I appreciate it because I'll go buy a beer with it. I'll go treat my wife to it. Again, I know that the value in education, if I charge $10,000, I'd have to teach you how to do it. I'll give it away for free, and I know only 3% of you guys are going to actually execute it and learn this stuff and do it. And guess what? That 3% will be the best traders ever. And if you want to tip me for the education because it was free and you're going to help someone else, again, an abundant universe, you're helping other people. The universe will, again, if I'm teaching you how to do it right, am I not making money? You would hope so. Yes, right? And so, again, help others, help yourself, be smart. Again, before you ever pay me, pay yourself, pay your taxes, treat your family. Save some money up to buy real estate. Call me when you're ready to do some investing in real estate. And then if you want to throw me a tip, that is awesome. And I always tell people this, the people who get invested in this channel, invested in us, I will drag you kicking and screaming to the finish line if I have to, if you don't get this. Because at some point, you don't realize, like, I could teach you, all of my best friends, all the best traders in the world can teach you how to do something, just like Tiger Woods can teach you how to play golf. But can you execute it, and do you have the desire to learn? Will you quit when it gets hard? That's the difference between the champs and the people that survive. All right, talk to y'all later. Have a great night. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.